Hello and welcome to 2024. I hope all of you had a wonderful holiday season and a happy new year. And I'm Steve Thoele. I'm principal broker with Premier Property Group, and it's time again for another update on the Newberg real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity ending this past Sunday, December 31st. So I'm going to share my screen here now, and let's go through the data together. So first off, we'll look at active listing activity. So as you can kind of see, it's been super quiet here over the past 6 weeks or so, which again get into late November, December. That's kind of what happens. But only had two new properties come on the market last week, and you can kind of see that's been the norm over the recent past here. And the total number of listings has been coming down. We started off with a high of 87 here for the first couple of weeks of the period, and you can kind of see it's dropped off down to 67, most recent reading as of this last week. So, declining supply. Median price and days on market for those active listings. Price, you can kind of see we kind of bottomed out a little bit right above 500,000, and it has been on the rise. Last 2 weeks, it's kind of topped out at 540,000. And days on market, that's been marching upward over the period here. You kind of started, we had a low of 45 days, 7 weeks back, and this most recent reading was 81. So, we're getting close to, about 3 months of average market time right now for these 67 homes that are currently on the market right now. So, definitely things are, lingering on the market longer these days on average. Okay, moving along to pendings, pending sales. So this last week, again, slow on that front. We only had one new pending last week, down from the week prior where we had seven, which was kind of a high, matched a high here for the past 8 weeks in terms of weekly pendings. The total number of pendings hasn't swung a whole lot. You can kind of see we had a high of 34 pendings and a low of 28. Kind of hit somewhere in the middle this last week at 30 homes in pending status right now. And the median price and the days on market for those pendings, that has been coming down. You can kind of see we hit a high of 513 6 weeks back. And the most recent reading, it's clear down to 440,000 as of this last week in terms of the median price of these 30 pending listings. And then days on market, that's been coming down as well. You had a high of 70 days, and then it sat at around 60 days, for a while, and then it's dropped down to 35 days. So it's kind of interesting, the homes that are getting into contract, which are lower in price, are staying on the market, a shorter period of time, or they're going pending, quicker than they were just here a few months back. Okay, and then sold listings. So again, slow on that front as well last week. When I put the info together, show we only had one property crossover from pending to sold this last week, matching a low for the past 8 weeks here. And then when I look back over the prior 4 weeks of closings on a week-by-week basis here, we kind of had a high of, started off at 32 homes that closed over the prior 4 weeks to begin with here. And it has dropped a bit. We kind of matched a low of 20 this last week. So, 20 homes have sold over the prior 4 weeks here in Newberg. The median sold price and days on market for those solds, that has been on the rise on both measures, had a low of 463,000. And you can kind of see we kind of close to about, 490 on 3 occasions here. Finished the kind of the look here at 482,000. And then days on market had a low of 36, and the last 2 weeks has been kind of at the high of 65 days of average market time for these most recent 20 sales. And then last little bit of data we'll look at here is the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. Weeks of inventory is the red bars here, and it's a great measure of kind of the relative supply and demand in the market. And we kind of started off here just right around 11 weeks of inventory, and that built up to about 15, a little over 15 weeks of inventory. And then it's been a little choppy the past couple of weeks, but this most recent week ended about 13 weeks of inventory. So a little over 3 months of inventory right now in the Newberg market based upon, that kind of relatively level kind of overall level of supply being pretty pretty consistent, and the sales kind of dropping off is kind of what's driven this number. And then the sale prices from the original list, that got down to a low here of about 91%. It has kind of bounced back over this last month, getting up to, looks like a slight high for the past 8 weeks. It's about 95.5%. So in other words, it's about a 4.5% discount on average off of the seller's original list price, and kind of a measure of kind of pricing power in the market. So all in all, not too bad, given the time of year. Three little over 3 months of inventory, and prices kind of bouncing back. Paints a fairly good picture on a relative basis right now in Newberg. And if you've been watching these videos for a while, this will be something kind of new, but I wanted to start tracking, or at least sharing some information about what's happening with mortgage rates, because it's such a big driver of affordability, obviously, along with home prices, is kind of what's happening with rates. So what we're looking at is a chart here of just the 30-year fixed rate mortgage, conventional mortgage, which is kind of the bread and butter mortgage for a lot of people here. And you can kind of see that's a 1-year look. So we kind of started last year at right around 6.5%, and that got us to as low as 6. And then we just kind of started this long, painful rise where we got clear up to a little bit over 8% rates here in about mid-October is where we kind of peaked out. And then you kind of see from there, we've had a very nice downward movement, particularly in the month of December, where it really took a dive down to about 6.6, 6.7%, right around there. And that is hopefully given some people some hope that we've kind of turned the corner on rates, and that we'll continue to see hopefully a downward trajectory on rates. The Fed kind of came out last month and basically said that they're kind of done with their rate tightening cycle, and they see inflation is moderating, hopefully, going forward. So that's always good news for mortgage rates. So hopefully we'll kind of continue to see this continue to come down. There's lots of projections on what's going to happen. Who really knows? But I, pretty confident in saying, it's gonna be hopefully somewhat lower as we kind of move out 2024. So that's the update for now, and hope it was helpful for you. As always, if I can answer questions or be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. Would love to make your acquaintance and see if I could be of help to you. My phone number and email are always down below these videos in the description. So give me a call, send me an email or a text, and I'd be happy to chat with you. And I always appreciate any likes, comments, shares of these videos. Let me know that this has some value to you, and really helps kind of spread the word. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, click that subscribe button before you leave. It's a great way for you to stay up to date on what's happening in your local real estate market. So hope you have a great day and week ahead, and we'll see you on the next update.